Swindon Supermarine are off to a flying start in the Southern League Premier South as we are unbeaten as we approach the conclusion of September. So it'll come as absolutely no surprise to you that we are top of the Southern League Premier at this stage in the season. 12 games played, a game in hand and 2 points clear of recently relegated AFC Tottenham. But in the first of today's massive games, we are playing Inkbarrow in the FA Cup third qualifying round. Now, obviously, Inkbarrow were one of our big rivals for promotion last year. They did come up with us. They are in the Southern League West or East or North, like the other Southern League, I believe. They went up to the other division. But our lineup today is going to be Bishop in goal, Valentine, Hutchings, Pache, Owusu, Terry, Hemmings in midfield because Valentine's just so good at right back, Larkins, Afua, Frankie Monk, who's already had 9 goals this season, and Johnny Afeje up top on 13. Looking like a wild pairing once again in this division. We've got Edge, Chioma, Arnie, Turner, Toombs, Crisp and Sonoiko on the bench. I would like to give Sonoiko some minutes if I possibly can. So let's get this one underway. I haven't decided on the second game of the day because there is a possibility that the fourth round of the FA Cup gets played almost immediately after this one. So I don't want to make too many plans because we could have a big club from the National League if we get past Inkbarrow today. We are going to tell everyone just to make a difference, make us proud, all that good stuff. And let's go get this one kicked off. And we are underway, and Afeje has got immediately to Owusu. This is going to be a kick-off highlight and nothing special, I would imagine, but you never know how it will shake out. It's not shook out well for us at this time. Hopefully we don't go to penalties. Jordon Ibe is playing for Inkbarrow this season, which is wild. Afua is going for a run. They're down the near side. He's been very, very good since coming in. It goes back to Terry, to Afua again. And he's given the ball away, which is not helpful. And we are on the back foot as Priest runs at us. Hemmings back to cover at right back, his position from last season. And it's not helped because Elias Grant has scored. And we're on the back foot. And we really shouldn't be on the back foot against Inkbarrow. And it's a little bit of a concern. It's a little bit of a concern for 2 reasons. If you've watched me on stream, you'll have seen my little meltdown because the new update has broken tactics. So it's possible this tactic just isn't working anymore. But also, I don't want us to be behind against a team we've beaten quite comfortably last season on several occasions. And hopefully we can dig in and get back into this game because otherwise there will be changes. Great goal kick for Inkbarrow, and hopefully we will start to see us coming back into this game. We have been on the stat book looking like we're coming back into the game, which has been nice as Afua picks up a loose ball into the box, has a very weak shot, needs to learn to cross more. Frankie Monk is starting to tire already as well, which is a real problem. I don't know if he picked up a knock and I missed it, but he's a big goal threat for us, so having him potentially need to come off is a real problem. You can see on the stats, we are back in the game. We just need to find that breakthrough, that goal to really help us out. And Owusu's really having a nightmare first half, which isn't helping at all. And I feel like I've got to say, what was that? Get our act together, because that's not okay. Owusu can have a good old hairdryer because he probably needs one. We'll grab Pache, we'll grab Afeje, and we'll just say, not happy with your performance. Hopefully they'll kick on in the second half. But I do need us to really get our act together. We do have potentially another cup tie in this game. Or in this episode, so, you know, even without progression, we do have the possibility of an FA Trophy game as our next match of the episode. Hopefully not with a penalty shootout, because I can't sit through another 5,000 penalties again. But we need to get through Inkbarrow first, and we've laid on Frankie Monk. Frankie Monk is through. He's forced to save from the goalkeeper. He is still tired. He will be withdrawn reasonably soon. Probably alongside Owusu. It might be an entirely new left side very soon in this first half because it's not looking good. Maybe Owusu can turn things around by turning provider here for Frankie Monk. Gets it into the box. Monk rises for it. Frankie Monk does. It's like I'm prognosticating Owusu and Monk combining, and Frankie Monk puts us back on terms. We are very much back in this tie with SC Inkbarrow in the FA Cup. Continuing our unbeaten run in all competitions was vital. I'd like to go the entire season unbeaten at this stage. It feels like we can. We've played half the teams in our league and beaten or drawn with all of them. So it's not out of the realms of possibility that we could go unbeaten all season, but it's very unlikely. Owusu coming back into the game is helpful, but Still only on a 6.3 with the assist. I think he's going to have to come off with Monk just because Monk is tiring. And I'd like a bit more security at left back. Just knowing Owusu isn't actually having a great game. We're being lied to a little bit. But I've just looked at our bench and there are no left back options on there because somehow I've missed the fact that I didn't have a left back option on there. Which means Pache is going to have to go and play out at left back, which is far from ideal. But we've got Toombs to come in at centre half. We'll put Chioma on for Monk. In fact, we'll put Crisp on for Monk. Why not? It's what he's there for. Have overloaded the midfielders on the bench just a tad. And Hemmings is tiring, so I think we bring in Sonoiko there. We're going to hope that does something for us. Worst case scenario, I imagine Annie can probably play left back reasonably. He's all right foot. Maybe Valentine can do it, or Hutchings. One of them must have some ability at left back. Not really. Good. Does Toombs? No. Excellent. I guess we're just hoping and praying then that the Pache can hold his own at left back. He is our one left-footed centre-half in this team, as Bishop has gone Hollywood save on us. That's always a good sign he's feeling confident. We'll see if we can start building something here. Pache with his first chance at left back. Larkins to Terry. Goes forward for Crisp. He plays it through for Afeje. Afeje through on goal with no support. Back to Pache, who cannot cross and doesn't. Larkins rattles the woodwork. We still feel like we're alive in this game. We just feel like we're alive in this game, but it is going to take something really special to get us the extra mile. This could be going to a replay, in which case we will do the replay in the second game of the episode. I can go a bit more attacking, I suppose. That will probably help us out. In fact, let's go back to our bench, knowing we've got options there. Valentine is tiring, so we'll send Arnie on there to be the right back. And also, I was going to take off Hutchings, but he is tiring. Where is our best chance of magic on that bench? It feels like it's Will Turner. We'll send in Will Turner. We've not seen him yet on a live comm. See if Will Turner can come in and do something to change this game. He is supposed to be a better striker than Afeje, but Afeje just picked up the season where he left off last season, so I didn't want to make him lose his shirt. But Turner does have a chance here to make the place his own. As Crisp gets into the box, plays it across goal, doesn't really find any help, and Pache's got to get back and cover Fletcher, and that's his inexperience at left-back showing, because he instinctively went to the flank, and that's a great save from Bishop, giving away a corner, but giving away a corner at this stage is probably better than conceding, and it looks like if this game doesn't go to extra time, I think it goes to replays at this level. We will be going to Inkbarrow for the second game of the episode, to try and get one over on them, and I'm going to try and keep the team fresh between now and then. Otherwise, we could be in trouble, and also remember to put a left-back on the bench. So, a couple of changes for this second game. My hand has been forced slightly, insofar as Higgs is up to come at left-back because Owusu is suspended for this game, and then I've also brought Kern onto the bench as a backup option at left-back. We've not really seen a lot of Finn Higgs this season. He's played once off the bench in the FA Cup. I'm not sure he's ready for this, but he is our next best option at left back. Could argue that Kern could go in there. You could argue that Josh Grant could go in there. In fact, Josh Grant should probably be the man on the bench, now I think about it, because he's probably a better option than Toombs as an all-round cover. Or in fact, let's put Josh Grant in at left back just because he's a bit of an old faithful. He's not necessarily the best left back in the world. He can't cross the ball, but he might just be able to do this job for us today. We'll see. We'll see, as he is the best option. He's asking to leave because he wants to play more as well, so we should probably give him more game time out there. Otherwise, the team is unchanged, so we'll just go with that and hopefully get a result the second time of asking against Inkbarrow. So interestingly, the team for Inkbarrow also unchanged for this game. So it should be, as you get, this ground is enormous for Inkbarrow. I don't think they're supposed to play in a ground this big. That's probably too big for them. We are in our yellow change kit because they were in their away kit last time. Of course, they wear green and white stripes. We wear blue and white hoops. That was decided to be a clash. So we're underway, and hopefully we are going to get a result today out of this one. Is sort of the plan, as Hutchings goes back to Valentine. I say sort of the plan, like that's not always the plan, but I'd like us to get a result. I'd like us to be better this game as Pache goes back to the goalkeeper Bishop for safety. Big ball deep. And, Ibe has now got a chance to terrorise us down the near side. Great play by Jordon Ibe. He's got it into the box. Jake Fletcher finishes it. And all the credit for that has to go to Jordon Ibe for, frankly, an incredible piece of play here. Yes, Grant's not a natural left-back, but he's been absolutely left for dead there. And that ball in from Fletcher, he's put it past 3 guys who honestly all should have been covering better. And you've got to start to wonder, are we about to lose our very first game this season on camera after I've been bigging up how good our unbeaten run has been? Very possibly. Terry can score from here. He's had a couple from here. He's dummied it. He's dummied it. That was a terrible free kick, but I did enjoy the little dummy from the free kick. Wish he'd had a pop because, as I said, he scored a couple from there this season already. So, really should have been shooting. Probably a misstep, maybe nerves, possibly. I don't know. But we've got to get something going here. We've got a free kick with Bishop going deep. Manafort heads it to Nuttall. Back to Tunnicliffe, to Yun. Yun, who's very short, a Fua. To Hemmings. Hemmings with a chance to cross the ball over to Frankie Monk, who can create magic when he wants to. Into the box. I thought he was going to go out alone then. Larkins and Hemmings combining. And Hemmings, shooting is not really his strong suit. I am thinking maybe he's better at right back than he is at centre mid. It's the first time he's been at centre mid for me all season. But Valentine was really good in his stead whilst he was out injured. Maybe I swapped them around at half-time. Do think we'll do an encouraged shout just to try and get us back into the game. Because it feels like we're not in the game as Larkins goes to Monk. Monk with a shot, a daisy cutter that Verns will grab all day. And this would be a massive, massive win for Inkbarrow, despite their enormous stadium. Because they really did struggle against us last season. And Fletcher's through again, and that's 2-0. And we are sinking without trace. And it's starting to become very abundantly clear that Josh Grant is not a left-back. Josh Grant is not a left-back, is what we're taking from today. In fact, a lot of our players have just not shown up, and it is going to be me screaming at them at half-time. Because we've just not shown up today, and it's very disappointing. I actually want a penalty shootout at this point because we've been so bad. Right, Josh Grant, Josh Terry, John Afua, and Johnny Afeje, the Joshes and the Johnnies, and Jadens, all the J's. I'm not happy with your performance. Get better is kind of the shout. And then everyone else, we're just going to tell them they need to get better. Everyone in this team needs to improve, quite frankly, because we are not looking good. I was going to make that change at half-time to swap around Hemmings and Valentine. I will do that now, if it will let me. Hate that it's so finicky. We'll do that. Maybe that'll switch things up, make us a bit more solid down the right. I know left is kind of the issue because Jordon Ibe is having the game of his life today, which is sad when you consider the career he's had. But he is having the game of his life today. Fletcher's back on us again. We've got to get back and cover this really desperately. We're not doing a great job defensively here. And if we'd gone 3 down, this would have been over. Valentine hooks it clear, only as far as Yun, to Tunnicliffe, to Manafort. And we've got to get back in this game. Desperately got to get back in this game. I am going to make some changes, probably a bit earlier than I usually would, if we don't score soon, as Ibe goes to Nuttall, to Rimmer, to Payet. Payet back to Manafort, who's going to go across to Tunnicliffe. He'll go out to Yun. They played the ball very nicely to Inkbarrow. They do play nice passing football, but we've got to get up them a little bit. As the ball is through for Afeje. Johnny Afeje steps up. Grab the ball, son. We've got 40 minutes to go. Grab the ball. Put it back on the spot. Let's get going again. We are back in the game. And Johnny Afeje, of course, the man of the moment. We do need Frankie Monk to do a lovely back post header. It would be beautiful. But we're getting to a point where it feels like we can sort of dig ourselves back into the game. And that was Hemmings combining with Afeje. So Hemmings at right back is definitely the better play here. Maybe we've just got lucky in the league not doing that. As a cross goes in and Frankie Monk was nowhere near it, which is why Verns has been able to pick that up so easily. Afua is coming back into the game now with Hemmings behind him as well, which is helpful as Pache picks up the ball, goes to Grant. Grant goes to Larkins, to Monk. Monk through for Afeje, who will go in alone this time, and the shooting was not great. I think it's going to be time for changes after this highlight. I hope they don't score, to be honest, but it's going to be time for changes because we've got to take a gamble here. We've got to stick Kern on a left back. Terry is coming off for Jamie Edge. Hopefully his leadership will help. Afua's had a terrible game, so Chioma can come on at right wing. Bishop's not covered himself in glory. I'm going to take Pache off for Toombs just because he's booked and I don't want any red cards. And we'll hold back a sub because I'm aware that Frankie Monk is having some fitness issues lately. And I don't really want to push him any further than I have to, but I do need a goal. And he is, with Afeje, our best chance of one, which is really a problem because we are not doing much in the way of attacking here. I say that as we look like we could do something in the way of attacking here. We were going to get a highlight until I changed that as well, which is really annoying. The irony. Right, we've got to get something going here. Unze needs to give it away to us and does. Kern just tips it back to Bishop. Toombs to Hutchings. Hutchings with a chance to bring it forward now to Valentine. Out for Hemmings. Hemmings needs to be creative again here from right back. Ball over the top again. Looking for Frankie Monk, who you would have bet on to head that away normally. Hasn't found the goal this time. And that's probably going to be his last contribution. We're going to send in Joe Crisp. Hope fresh legs on that far side can keep us in it. But it looks like we're going out of the FA Cup, which is devastating because I really wanted a big draw in the next round. There are so many ex-league clubs that go into the hat in the fourth qualifying round now that it is a big marker. But unfortunately, it's our old rivals Inkborough who are going to be going through. And I guess that leaves us with just the league and the FA Trophy to play for. And I don't know how I feel about that. The FA Trophy is against Gloucester. I don't think we're going to go straight into the Gloucester game because that's just too close. We're on a bit of a tear this season. I think we'll come back for end of November, start of December, the two boroughs. That feels like a good... I know we've got Gloucester and Tottenham coming up there, haven't we? Screw it, let's do Gloucester and Tottenham on Friday, and then we'll do a big jump forward. Just because we are at least in a trophy, at least then we can do something about it. Right, thanks for watching, guys. I have, as always, been ChasingLamely. Do please hit the like and subscribe buttons. It really helps the channel out. I've noticed recently that 90% of the people who watch these videos aren't subscribed, so do check you are subscribed. But for now, thanks for watching. As I said, I've been ChasingLamely. I'll see you all very soon. Until next time, stay safe and have a good one.